With one wheel assembly created, we want to add the other three, but we want to do that in a more efficient way. So I'm going to use the same workflow that I used for the nut and bolt. Select all of the parts in the wheel assembly, and then demote them or combine them into a sub-assembly. The name for that component will be 4-inch wheel assembly. And I'm going to check that the template is correct. It should be an English standard inch assembly. Click on OK. We get some information, but that's fine. It's not a problem for us. And you can see all of those parts are now combined into a single assembly, and I can bring that into my model. Simply drag it into place. You can see all the parts are coming along. And all I'll need to do is apply one constraint, and that's going to be the insert constraint that offsets the drive shaft. Select Insert, the circular edge. Keep in mind there are a couple of circular edges there, so be careful you get the right one. We'll be double checking this later. And my offset is negative 0.375. That's a much quicker way of creating that second wheel assembly, and we can repeat that for the third and fourth one. To complete the drivetrain, I want to add one more gear. To do that, I'm going to start with the 3-inch shaft and place it in that center area. So again, I want to move and rotate that part so that it's easier to constrain. This is the area where the motor will be. So in the previous ones my offset was 0.375. This one has to be larger so that drive shaft will go into the motor and be rotated by the motor. So again, it's an insert constraint. Select the circular edge. And again, change my solution, and in this case it's going to be negative 0.875. And click on OK. So we've seen how to create the rest of this. We're going to be adding on a shaft collar. I'm going to be adding a gear. So here we can see the complete solution. I've added 2 shaft collars and another 60-tooth gear, keeping in mind to add those angle constraints so that the gear, the shaft collar, etc. all rotate together. But we do have an issue to deal with, and that is that we need to add a constraint so that these gears rotate correctly. I'm checking that the gears align correctly first of all, so that my selections on the insert constraint were good, and they look fine. I'm going to use a rotation constraint. Now in this case it's 3 60-tooth gears, so the ratio will be 1:1. A little later on we'll see a different ratio for some of the gears. Select 2 circular surfaces. I could have selected edges as well. And I'm going to go with the solution as is. We'll check that in a moment. So again, motion, select that face, select that face, and OK. So we're getting there. The next thing we need to do is align the gears.